how's it going? Hopefully you guys are staying well. Today I want to talk about some of the things that I've done to cope with continuing to live after losing a baby. I've gotten a lot of questions about this, about some things that, like, what do I do to get me through it? At first, I planned on making one video to talk about all of it, and I actually recorded that a few days ago, and then I started editing it. I got about a quarter of the way through and thought, this is just way too much for one video. I need to split it up. So today I'll be talking about one part, and then I think I'll just break it up into a few videos over the next few weeks about certain things that have helped me to cope with Cora's passing. And I realized that not everybody who has been through losing a child is gonna understand or agree with my coping methods, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. This is just what has worked for me, and I'm sharing this because, for one, sharing is a way of coping, and so there's that. And then there's also the hope that by sharing the things that have worked for me, maybe somebody out there will see this and try it and it'll work for them too. So that is one of my hopes. So today I'm going to talk about something that I have found really, really special to me, and that is my Cora Bear. And I've showed this to you guys on my social media, but I don't think I've ever even mentioned her on YouTube before. So here is my Cora Bear. And I will show you guys some pictures of her. I did a little photo shoot a few months ago when I first did this. And I'll take off the onesie and headband and everything so you guys can see her up close. Okay, so here is the bear. Here she is. As you guys heard, there's a heartbeat, and I will explain these tubes here in just a minute. When Cora was in the hospital, this was a few days before she passed, her whole team at that point already knew that she was not going to make it. They had talked to us about it, and one evening I went to visit Cora, and I walked in, and the nurses were holding a little ultrasound probe to the back of Cora's knee to listen to her pulse, and they were recording it for her heartbeat for this bear. So this is a Build-A-Bear, and at first it was just the bear and the recording of her heartbeat. So a few months after Cora passed, I decided to add all this, and I actually had the idea that I wanted to, pretty early on, I knew I wanted to add weight to the bear. As you can see by me holding her, she's not just like full of fluff. She has weight. She has little glass beads, the same kind that are used to fill reborn dolls. And I wanted to do that pretty much since the very beginning after she passed. I wanted something that felt like her weight. So I did some research and I watched some YouTube videos about reborning, and I used those methods. It feels like the weight that Cora was whenever I held her. So that was the first thing that I did. I also, as you can see on the bear, I've added these tubes. This is an NG tube. She had a feeding tube and some tubing. I added these because that was what I was used to seeing on her and holding her. So you can see it's pretty, there's a lot of tubes, and so holding the bear is very tangly, and that was how it was holding Cora. And then I also added this scar. So at first, and I'll show a picture, I actually left this open. There's a cut in the bear and it was open, and I sewed a fabric patch over it to represent what Cora actually looked like. She had her chest open the whole time. I've never seen her with a scar. And so at first, the bear had an open chest, just because that was what I was used to seeing on her, and that's what I wanted on the bear at first. But recently, I've been thinking a lot. So I decided to go for it a few weeks ago and remove the patch that I had put on there and then close it. Even though she never got that in her life, I decided it was a step for my healing and I needed to do that. I didn't even realize until after how significant that was and how important that was for my heart to heal. And so that was just part of the healing process and doing that. And I love to hold my bear. I like to listen to the heartbeat in it. And I also like to dress her up. She's worn a few of the outfits that Cora never got to wear, and a lot of her headbands too. And so that is really, really special to me. So I wanted to do this video today to talk about that, and also because I've also gotten to the point, I think now I'm actually ready to remove the tubes. And I feel kind of the same way I did right before I closed the opening on her chest. I feel nervous that I'm gonna do it and regret it. I think it's gonna be a big step. Taking this leap is challenging. Like, what if I am not ready for it, and what if I regret it? But I don't think I will, because I felt the same way before I did this and I don't regret it. So I am gonna do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the bear after, and I'll tell you guys how I feel. So hopefully I don't regret it. I did it, as you saw. So here she is. And honestly, I was right. I was ready for this. I needed it. She feels whole. Just because I did this now doesn't mean that having those lines and those tubes on her before wasn't helping, because it was something that I needed at the time. And this is just another step in my grief, and this is something that when I first did this, I never thought that I would ever even want to do this. But over the last few months, I've thought about it and it was just time. I love this. My bear. A lot of infant lost parents get Molly bears, and this is, I guess, sort of like that, except that I did it myself, which, that I'm a very creative person, and that's my outlet and a way of coping is by being creative. And so doing this by myself was really something that I needed. So I am gonna put her back in her little diaper, and I'm actually gonna put a new romper on her, and I'll talk about that for a minute too. There she is, my little Cora Bear. I'm gonna put the headband back on. Oh. I thought it would be hard to take all of those tubes off because it was what made the bear so unique. But honestly, the bear is so much easier to cuddle now and hold. I don't feel like I have to be so careful, and I like that. I like being able to hold my bear without worrying about pulling those tubes apart. When I held Cora after she passed, the nurse cut all of the tubes and swaddled her. So when she handed her to me, it just felt and looked like just a regular baby that had never gone through what Cora did. And I just held her like a baby. Like, I held her up to my shoulder like this, and I wish she didn't have to pass for me to be able to do that. That was the only time I ever held her without any tubes, wires, anything. So this romper, it was one of the first ones that I bought for Cora, and I dressed her in it right before she passed, and that was what she was wearing. It wasn't this exact one. It's the same one, which I have it in her box. Someone bought the same one in the same size, which was newborn size, and gave it to me at my baby shower. So I had two of them. And so this one I put on the bear because it was a special outfit that she wore. And so I like to put it on the bear too. I honestly wish I didn't know about weighted bears. I wish that I didn't know that they were a thing, because this is my reality now, and it sucks. But this is something that has helped me over time to heal. And I hope that if there's someone out there watching this who has lost a baby, that this might give them an idea of something that might help them too. And if not, that's fine. Everybody copes differently. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. It's important to me and a lot of lost parents. Not everybody, but it's important for me. So that is my Cora Bear. That's the story about her. Well guys, I think I will go ahead and end this video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!